goat mouth mammy fucker.
I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it themselves.
And just like that, Kendrick Lamar was starting to predict the future. Here we are. King Kunta, lyrics explained. It's quite a long song, although there's not a lot of explanation needed in the song. But we're going to go through the whole record, so let's not delay. Let's get right into it. King Kunta, Kendrick Lamar from To Pimp a Butterfly, circa 2015. Let's go.
I got a bone to pick. I don't want you monkey mouth motherfucker sitting in my throne again. I'm mad, but I ain't stressing. True friends, one question.
All right, and with that last line, we get our first little hint at what he's about to talk about and refer to. True Friends to me is, by that time, Drake had released 2 hit records that referred to friends. Of course, No New Friends, which was the DJ Khaled record. I think Rick Ross and Lil Wayne is on that record. And then, of course, at the end of Started From the Bottom, which was about his biggest hit at the time. At the end of, Fuck a Fake Friend, Where Your Real Friends At. Now, I don't think either one of those was a reference to Kendrick Lamar. I'm not sure, because those were both before the Control verse. I don't think they really had too much tension, other than maybe a little bit of the Grammy thing going back and forth. But I don't think they had too much tension between each other before the Control verse. So I think that's just a nod to Drake and the friend stuff. Him leading out with, I got a bone to pick, calling the monkey mouth MFers, sitting in my throne again. Of course, him claiming the throne, right? You got Macklemore, you had everybody with the sensitive responses to the Control verse, those who were not even mentioned in the verse, who all had diss tracks towards him. I think those are all the people he's talking about with those opening bars. But let's continue.
Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. When you got the yams. What's the yams? The yam is the power that be. You can smell it when I'm walking down the street. Oh yes, we can. Oh yes, we can.
Okay, now this is the first part of creative writing that gets into this record and these verses, and how he's going to keep calling back to the yam or the yams. Right now, yam at the root is an African word that means to eat or to have value, right? So yams, of course, is like sweet potatoes, right? That's what we know them as in the United States. But that's what he's referring to. So he says you can smell it when you're walking down the street. Of course, he's referring to the food, but he's also referring to him being successful in the money, right? Because the yam is the power that be, the power of money, right? And the power of success. So that's his struggle with his newfound success after Good Kid, Mad City is pretty much a lot of the backdrop of this album. Okay, and it's some of the backdrop of this record, because he's addressing the hate he's receiving since his success throughout this record, and also claiming the top spot in hip hop, which in my opinion he did have at the time and has had since then. But let's continue.
I could dig rapping, but a rapper with a ghost rider. What the fuck happened? Oh no! I swore I wouldn't tell. But most of y'all share bars like you got the bottom bunk in a 2-man sale. A 2-man sale. Something's in the water.
Something's in the water.
And if I got a brown nose for some gold, then I'd rather be a bum than a motherfucking ball. Oh yeah.
Okay, now of course, in this time we're taking that as he was mainly taking a direct shot at Drake, right? A subliminal shot at Drake. But here's the thing. He said, but a rapper with a ghostwriter. Okay, so you can take that first line as a shot at Drake, as Drake was hating on him every chance he could after the Control verse, and then after the Grammys he really didn't like him, right? So he kept throwing little sensitive shots at Kendrick, and Kendrick was throwing shots back, as we know, and I'll cover more as we go through all the shots they were throwing at each other as I go through the song. But he's also referring to all the rappers in general. He said y'all. As a matter of fact, he said most of y'all been sharing bars like you got the bottom bunk in a 2-man sale. So again, I've referred to this, and I'll link the videos at the end of this video, speaking on the ghostwriting situation. This is what happens. There are a lot there are a lot more rappers than people think there are that do have ghostwriters that share lines, share bars, and need help with their rhymes. So that's what he's referring to there. And then when he goes into the brown nose line, if I got a brown nose for some gold, then I'd rather be a bum than a mother effing baller. Okay, so brown nose, of course, is kissing up, but brown nose also could be referred to in slang terminology and street terminology as living a certain lifestyle. Okay, and we're gonna leave that right there. Adults know what I'm talking about. Okay, and people who live a certain lifestyle in entertainment in Hollywood tend to win awards, right? So if you look at Macklemore winning the Grammy, when Good Kid, Mad City should have won the Grammy, that's to me directly what he's referring to with those two lines, right? But he's saying that's okay, y'all can keep your Grammys because I'm not gonna brown nose. I'd rather be a bum than a baller, right? Also, I'd rather be a bum than to play ball with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And brown nose and be one of the in crowd in this industry, right? As I'm dropping things. But let's continue.
Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. King Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah. Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off.
Okay, so now when we talk about the hook, because I didn't even talk about it, let's talk about it now that we understand kind of where he's going in the song. Okay, so where are you when I was walking? Now I run the game, got the whole world talking, right? Now, to me, this is an early form before clout chase was a big thing and a big term, right? This is what he's describing. When you have success as an artist that's kind of keeps to themselves and has their own goals in mind, it's not like really a prop up. Everybody wants to come and be a part of what you're doing, right? So now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody want to cut the legs off him. So because he's not a part of the in crowd, so to speak, he's not an industry prop up. They also don't want to see him succeed as much. So that's what the Grammy snubs and the sideline hate from certain artists who are in the same lane and make the same kind of raps. Jay Electronica, I'm talking to you. Lupe Fiasco, there's others. That's what that's about, right? And he's addressing that as well. But King Kunta, black man taking no losses. So he's saying, I'm not taking no losses to none of y'all. I'm not falling in line to the way you all want me to. At the time, Jay Electronica said Kendrick Lamar was his son, one of his sons. He knows he's one of my sons. That's a ridiculous statement. You know what I'm saying? But this is how he felt, and this is what he was facing. So that's what he's saying when he's saying, everybody want to cut the legs off him. Not just white people, everybody. That's important. Let's continue.
When you got the yams, the yam brought it out of Richard Pryor. Manipulated Bill Clinton with desires. 24/7, 365 days times 2. I was contemplating getting on stage just to go back to the hood, see my enemy and say, oh yeah.
All right, let's stop it right there. Okay, so he goes back to the yams. Now he's going to give you other definitions of what's the yams. That's why they say what's the yams whenever he starts the verse. Now he said the yam brought it out of Richard Pryor. Now yam is also a slang term for cocaine. Again, things that have value, right? And then he said manipulated Bill Clinton with desires. Now that's referring to Bill Clinton cheating on his wife, Hillary Clinton, with Monica Lewinsky and countless other women from what we understand. So yams is also a word for legs or shapely legs, right? So now he's using that definition for yams, right? So those are also temptations, drugs, females that you face when you are at the top of the game. He's staying in line with the subject matter. Then he said 24/7, 365 times 2. I was contemplating getting off stage just to go back to the hood, see my enemies and say. So now it's also dealing with the insecurities that comes with success and the desire to want to go back and throw it in people's face that now you're successful. Again, that goes back to the hook where you and I was walking. He's talking to multiple levels. He's talking to the people he knew. He's talking to the new people trying to attach themselves to him in the hook. So now we go back into the hook again, and then we go into the third verse.
Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off.
You goat mouth mammy fucker.
I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it to themselves. Everybody's suicidal, they didn't even need my help. This shit is elementary, I'd probably go to jail if I shoot at your identity and bounce to the left.
Okay, so the verse starts with, I think that's Thundercat saying, you goat mouth mammy Effer. Now that's just African American terminology. If you're not African American, you're not from the hood for real, you're not gonna understand that. I'm not gonna explain everything, but it's just an insult. Let's just leave it at that. Now, I was gonna kill a couple rappers, but they did it to themselves. Everybody's suicidal, they didn't even need my help. Now he's talking about Drake looking sensitive. He's talking about everybody who released responses to the Control verse that he wasn't talking about, who went on to release albums that didn't do very well. So they killed themselves. Some of them didn't even release projects and they were supposed to. Shout out to them. I'm not gonna mention any names. I don't want to be messy. But so that's what he's saying. Then he says, the shit is elementary. I'll probably go to jail if I shoot at your identity and bounce to the left. So when he says it's elementary, means it's simple. I don't even have to attempt to battle you all or to respond to you all. You gonna off yourself, right? And that's also an old Jay-Z line, I believe. And then he says, if I shoot at your identity and bounce to the left. Now, that the bounce to the left means to the West Coast, right? Or to the logical side of an approach, if you're talking psychologically. But when he talks about I'll probably go to jail, right? He's referring to shooting at their identity, meaning, again, referring to them as prop-ups, right? So you go back to the first verse when he's talking about, I'd rather be a bum than a baller if I got a brown nose for some gold, right? He's speaking to the MCs that are taking shots at him, mainly Drake, but also some of the other ones, as though your identity is fake anyway. You're a prop-up anyway. You have ghostwriters. You're not who you appear to be, okay? He's referring to more than just Drake, but mainly Drake, for sure. And when you're referring to the bouncing to the left, right, logical is the opposite of emotional. Emotional is the right brain activity, right, and response. So most of the rappers who had a problem with Control, they responded emotionally. All right. So if I shoot at your identity and bounce to the left, meaning if I approach you logically instead of approaching you emotionally. So that's a little bit of a double entendre there. But anyway, let's continue.
I stuck a flag in my city. Everybody screaming Compton. I should probably run from here when I'm done. To be honest, and I put that on my mama and my baby boo too. 20 million walking out the court, baby, woo woo. Oh yeah, fuck the judge. I made it past 25, and there I was, a little nappy-headed nigga with the world behind him. Life ain't shit but a fat vagina. Screaming, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Limo tinted with the gold plate, straight from the bottom. Mr. Belly of the beast, from a peasant to a prince to a motherfucking king. Oh yeah, bitch, where you and I was.
By the time you hear the next pop, the funk shall be within you.
Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta.
Okay, now the reason I let that run, because that kind of goes all together. Okay, so he says, I stuck a flag in my city, everybody screaming Compton. I should probably run for mayor when I'm done, to be honest. And I put that on my mama and my baby boo too. 20 million walking out the court building, woo woo. Now, he's talking about the success of staying true to himself and being successful. Let me say it that way. You know, representing Compton with Good Kid, Mad City, having success doing that, being truthful to how he grew up, right? Being a good kid in Mad City, not playing gangster, not doing none of that, right? 20 million walking out the court building, right? That refers to basically unity amongst African American community, right? That's also the YAM. You understand? Having that support is the YAMs, the powers that be, right? That is a representation, or his success is a representation of the power of that unity, you know, representing what's real and what's right and being behind that. You know, yams is a real value because it's a food. Now the next part, all year F the judge, I made it past 25 and there I was, a little nappy-headed nigga with the world behind him, right? That refers to him having success and having the backing of his upbringing, where he comes from. See, that's he's in this song, he's putting a juxtaposition between him and those who were criticizing him, right? Again, especially Drake, right? Other artists too, but let's mainly Drake, right? So you got the artist with integrity versus the artist who's kind of a prop up and a chameleon of other people's cultures, right? Or a vulture, or a what do you call them? Colonizer. You know, all kind of animals, different animals and things. But then he says, life ain't nothing but a fat vagina. Screaming, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Okay, that's a callback to Smooth Criminal, right? With Annie being the system, being America, right? Life ain't nothing but a fat vagina. That's a callback to Backseat Freestyle, because in Backseat Freestyle, he predicted his success, right? He was saying he wanted this success. And at the end of the hook, he says, I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower so I can fuck the world for 72 hours, right? So now in King Kunta, he's realized that success. And the Smooth Criminal reference is, you know, when you have success being genuine, especially as an African American, you're kind of seen as getting away with something, right? So in essence, he's been able to do this as kind of a smooth criminal type situation, right? When you stay true to yourself. You know, that's the whole, I made it past 25 and there I was a little nappy head nigga with the world behind him, right? And also that Annie, Are You Okay part is the part that all black people sing to Smooth Criminal. You know, we don't know what most of the song is, but when Annie, Are You Okay comes on, when that part comes up, everybody in the party sings that part. So again, he's talking about the celebration of being successful, united as African Americans, to staying true to yourself in this business. That's been his experience. And that's the celebration of the song King Kunta. To me, that's how I take it. And the gunshots and the part where Thundercat is talking in between, to me, the gunshots represent the first part of the race, and now he's starting the second part of the race, right? Now I Run the Game got the whole world talking. So now where do I go from here, right? And we know that To Pimp a Butterfly, to me, is his best album and probably definitely the most critically acclaimed album. It's between that and Damn, but that's what he's now, that second gunshot is him continuing on this current run of success. Let's continue.
Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off. King Kunta, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah, bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Kunta, everybody wanna cut the legs off. I remember you was conflicted.
Okay, now at the end there, when he keeps repeating, if I give you the funk, you gonna take it. We want the funk, right? Think of the funk as the essence of African American culture, because that's kind of what it is. Because this album was extremely deep in African American culture in every way, and that's why it wasn't received as well as some of the other albums were. Because this, to me, if you're an African American person, if you're really black, this is by far his best album. But songs like King Kunta, with having funk music behind it, a lot of people just can't grasp that kind of music, and some black people can't. You know what I'm saying? So that's where he's calling, like, if I give you the funk, you're gonna take it. So if I keep it black, right? If I keep the message true to us and not commercialized, if I give it to you, you're gonna take it, right? That's kind of what he's asking. Now, for the most part, it was received well, right? But some of it, it wasn't. You know, a lot of people, they just didn't get it. And that has to do with cultural upbringing. It doesn't have to do with really the color of your skin. It has to do with what kind of culture were you raised in. If you were raised around in a majority African-American culture, this album really spoke to you, right? And you get the King Kunta, you get the Kunta Kinte reference. That's why I didn't mention it in this bar breakdown. I'm not mentioning obvious things. But the music, the soulfulness, the jazziness, the use of bass lines, the use of the drum patterns, the different harmonies, all of that is they went extremely soulful for this album. That's what funk is. It's like extreme soul, right? So like, you know, like heavy metal is like extreme rock music. Funk music is like extreme soul music. So everybody can't digest it, right? It's really heavy. It's really strong. It's syncopated. The rhythms are complicated. The instrumentation is definitely complicated. The harmonies are complicated. The chord progressions are complicated. So that's what he's addressing, I think, at the end there. When he's like, hey, look, if I give you the funk, you gonna take it? Now, black people, y'all asking for representation, right? Support this kind of art. And they did, for the most part. So that's it, man. Let me know what you think in the comments as I hit the microphone. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. Share this video to whoever you think will be interested in seeing the bar breakdown, trying to get to 10,000 subs. We're at about 3,500 right now. So share the video for your boy. Watch it a couple times. Thank y'all for watching Professor Lex Beats Lyrics Explained Bar Breakdown. Click the link for the videos coming up here. There should be 3 videos on your screen. More Kendrick Lamar Bar Breakdown, all the battle songs I broke down, Lyrics Explained videos for those. Click one of the links there. Thank you for watching, and we out.